10 seconds remaining.
Hello everyone and
5
welcome to
seconds
NizCast. I of
remaining.
course am Niz, as we're going to continue our coverage of the Dota 2 Canada Cup Season 7. We're back in the winner's
Reserve
bracket
time.
and we're got a quarterfinal match here, and it's going to be a big one between compLexity
Radiant
Gaming
team
and
back.
Shazam. This is going to be a good series. This is going to be a really good series. Two big juggernaut teams in this one squaring off. It's going to be a best of 3. And I expect it to go the distance. Of course, last night we covered a bunch of the losers bracket, or the lower bracket matches, where we had DKB beating out T-Show. We had Not Today beating out Kingdom. And in kind of a lackluster finisher game, we had Enemy GG beating out Infamous after Infamous unfortunately ended up forfeiting mid-game because of connection issues. And they had already shown up late and everything. It was a complete mess. But yeah, enough of that. We'll see the teams that won there a little bit later on in the tournament. But we've got this one to settle, as we've got two teams that are pretty damn good. Of course, compLexity, fresh off their performance at Epicenter, where they ended up finishing 4th. They knocked out EG in that tournament. So yeah, compLexity looking to put on a show for us here today. And by the way, guys, if you guys didn't watch any of Epicenter, at least go and watch the intro to the finals that they did at Epicenter. It was absolutely crazy. I'm sure there's YouTube videos and stuff. Otherwise, you can find the VOD on Twitch. But man, the production level on that in that tournament was just unbelievable. But dude, like, compLexity ended up finishing 4th there, so congratulations to them. They put on a hell of a show. They only actually ended up losing to Newbie and getting knocked out to Newbie, which ended up being 2nd. But that was pretty awesome stuff. But we'll see how the team of compLexity, I was about to call them the American boys, but I guess that doesn't really count with 3 Euros on the roster. But it's an American
team
organization, so I guess that counts. Well, we'll see how they do here today. Let's catch up with our draft. We've got Beastmaster and Doom, as well as Ro8 and Alchemist banned out by compLexity. Shazam's banned out the Darkseer, the Slaughdar, the Dragon Knight, and the Lifestealer. As for the picks, we have Earth Spirit, Tidehunter, Puck, and Lone Druid picked up by compLexity so far.
Remaining.
Vengeful Spirit, Elder Titan, Invoker, and we're waiting on the 4th pick here from Shazam.
Reserve time.
Jumping back to compLexity, let's take a look at their lanes. We've got Puck, which we typically assume is going to be in the mid lane. Tidehunter, we think probably off lane. Lone Druid, I guess then safe lane. They might do something a little bit cheeky and maybe move the Puck to the mid lane, put the Lone Druid mid. Or Puck to the safe lane, excuse me, put the Lone Druid mid. That all depends on how they feel with the matchup against Invoker. We'll see how they choose to run that, but like I said, we expect the Tidehunter to be in the off lane, and the Earth Spirit's going to be the position 4 support, so compLexity is looking for position 5 support to round out their roster. As for Shazam, we expect the Invoker to be in the mid lane, and it looks like they've already got their 2 supports. Position 4, Elder Titan, position 5, Vengeful Spirit, and we're waiting for them to pick a hero here. Whether or not it'll be an off laner or a safe laner, we'll have to wait and see. But definitely taking a good amount of time here, dipping into the reserve time, really deciding where they want to go with this final pick, with this 4th pick.
Faceless Void.
They're going to go with the off lane. It's going to be the Faceless Void.
compLexity's turn to ban.
It solves any potential issues that they may have with locking down the Puck. If they absolutely need to kill the Puck and need to lock him down in some way, they can do so with
10
Chronosphere.
seconds remaining.
Otherwise, Puck could be pretty
5 seconds remaining.
pretty slippery, pretty difficult for them to kill. Especially with them adding on a safe lane hero,
Reserve
which
time.
I don't think they want to be stuck in a corner. I don't think they want to have cornered themselves into a specific pick that would leave them vulnerable.
Radiant team back.
Because what can happen here is if they need something that's going to be able to deal with the Puck or lock down a
Radiant
target
team pick.
with their final pick, then that really kind of puts them in a tight spot for how they're going to be able
compLexity's
to
turn pick.
how they're going to be able to kind of deal with that Puck. But they're going to add on a Phoenix. What? What?
10 seconds remaining.
Well, let's look at the final ban. So Clinks was banned out by complexity.
5 seconds remaining.
Wisp was banned out by Shazam. Really surprising to see a Wisp going this deep
Reserve time.
against complexity. Typically gets banned out pretty early on. But what is this Phoenix? Is this then safe lane faceless void? Phoenix off lane? Is that it? Is that... Or are we still seeing faceless void off lane? And we're going to have a core venge or something like that? I'm guessing it's going to be faceless void safe lane. That makes the most sense. And then have Phoenix off lane. But very, very interesting route that Shazam has chosen to go with here in the draft.
10 seconds remaining.
Complexity's going to round out their roster with a Bane as their 5th and final pick. Going to give them good lockdown and control to make sure that Faceless Void isn't able to do too much. It's certainly going to be an interesting draft to start off our series here tonight in this best of 3. Just waiting for the last players to select their heroes. In fact, no one on Complexity has selected their heroes yet. I do want to note that Pandago has been playing with Shazam. So he's going to be playing in this game, and he's going to be playing the Elder Titan.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
And he's going to be standing in replace of SVG. But here we go. Everyone selected their heroes, so let's introduce our teams and our players here. So on our Radiant side, it's going to be Shazam. We've got Brax.
Prepare.
He's going to be
battle.
playing at the Phoenixes. Once again, my casting config has not... DotA crashed as I was entering this, but yeah, let's introduce our teams and our players now. As we got Shazam on our Radiant side. Brax is going to be playing the Phoenix. There's nothing's working. There we go. We got MSS playing the Invoker. TC is going to be on the Faceless Void. Jason or Fun is going to be playing the Vengeful Spirit. And that stand-in Pandago is going to be on the Elder Titan. On our Dire side, it's going to be Team Complexities, one of the big favorites in this tournament. However, they only finished second in their group. So we'll see if Shazam's going to be able to knock him off the top here. As we got Swindle Melons, or Swindles, playing the Tidehunter. Limp's going to be on the Puck. Chessie on the Lone Druid. Z-Freak playing the Earth Spirit. And Handskin on the Bane. Reminder, guys, this is a best of 3 series in the Dota 2 Canada Cup Winners Bracket. Quarterfinals. So losers not eliminated. They'll just drop down to the losers bracket. But of course, then you're essentially single elimination from that point forward. So that's a place that you do not want to be. And look at this. We've already got a lot of heroes up here from both sides for the top rune. It looks like we're going to have Shazam actually back away from it. So Complexity will take the top rune. And unfortunately, we're going to have a pause here. We'll just have to quickly wait. I'm not sure what it is, but Limp asked for a sec. So we'll give him it. And there we go, G. As far as starting items, anything that stands out doesn't look like it. We've got boots first on Pandago. Beyond that, nothing really out of the ordinary that's catching my eye yet. Well, I believe both teams have said G, so... Oh, I missed Z-Freak saying S, sorry. So yeah, we'll just wait for Z-Freak and then we'll be good to go. But it looks like we're going to have Brax on the Phoenix. All right. Guess that makes sense. That matches up with what we were expecting with the draft. And here we go. We've got Resume, so everyone's picking up the initial runes. We've got Bounty Rune picked up by Limp on the Puck, and MSS picked up the one in the bottom lane for Shazam. Now everyone's taken to their lane, so let's take a quick look at what we got here. We've got Invoker going up against Puck in the mid. Top lane is going to be an off-lane Phoenix going up against a safe lane farming Lone Druid, and that's going to be protected by a Bane. In the bottom lane, we're going to have an off-lane Tidehunter going up against a safe lane farming Faceless Void, babysat by a Vengeful Spirit, but we expect the Earth Spirit to be roaming around. As we also expect the Elder Titan to be roaming around as well. And notice there was, I guess that's supposed to be Raffle coming up from MSS, as MSS paints the river with what? What is it? It's chrome. So we'll look forward to that. That's one of the perks, I guess, of the Battle Pass. I forget what level is required for that, but either way, we've got Pandago and Brax bullying Hanskin here a bit. Bane, one of the strongest zoning supports in the game, with being able to zone out the offlaner, because you can always pretty much freely trade hits with them, knowing that you've got Brain Sap to keep your HP pool up, and it's always something that the offlaner has to be wary of. The fact that you've got that burst damage through Brain Sap. But on top of that, you also have Nightmare, so you're able to just sleep this target, and then all of a sudden that carry farming in the safe lane can just run up and start attacking you as well. Something you really have to be worried about when laning off lane against a Bane, but he's going up against a Phoenix and an Elder Titan in the off lane, so he's not really able to bully as much as he'd like, especially because those two heroes can wake each other up if the Nightmare is going to put them in a bad position. 2-minute rune is spawned. It's going to be a regen spawn at the bottom location. Z-Freak's actually just going to leave it there. And expect maybe Limp to rotate down and pick that up, but neither mid's got their bottle yet. Brax is going to Icarus dive away from top. Pandago rotated away, so he's going to go towards the mid lane, just going to throw Spirit at Limp. And Limp actually pops his healing salve, and Pandago, with those boots first, able to walk in and just smack it off of him. And that's actually going to be Swindle, since he's going to come and take that regen rune as MSS and Limp continue to square off in the mid lane, both dead even in terms of CS, 10 last hits apiece. Slight advantage to the Invoker right now as MSS has 6 denies compared to Limp's 3. But still, really anyone's game in that mid lane. As for our safe lane farmers, we've got Chessie falling a little bit behind. He's sitting at 15 and 8 on the Lone Druid, whereas we've got TC sitting at 20 and 3. So slight advantage to Shazam. There we go. In both their safe lanes and their mid. However, with that said, complexity's gotten more out of their offlane, as we almost always expect coming out from Swindles, but we might have our first blood here, as there's that Nightmare setting up a kill, and Chessie's going to get it. Brax did what he could to try to help out, but he got very low as well. Now Z-Freak's in position to make a move on MSS in the mid lane. And Scan just got used by Shazam, and it just barely doesn't catch Z-Freak. But either way, he's going to roll after MSS and go onto him. But I think MSS should be fine. We've got a TP coming in from Pandago. And now Z-Freak getting hit with that cold snap, constantly getting stunned up, as he'll try to run back to the safety of his towers. Sunstrike, will it land? Oh, just barely off the mark. So close. And now Z-Freak, he's gone into this little tree place, and I thought maybe he was going to get stuck there, but no, he was able to boulder away. He also had Handskin there as well to save him, but see a bunch of heroes exchanging blows, but only just that one kill so far. But a bunch of heroes getting sent back all the way back to the fountain, as both Limp and Z-Freak making their way back there. We'll TP back to lane shortly.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Brax hiding in the trees, got his tranquil boots already. Doing his best to soak as much XP as he can. Now Pandago rotating up. Still pretty much dead even between two mid laners. As once again we see those infused raindrops. Which seems pretty common for invokers in the mid. So our last couple invokers have all picked up infused raindrops. And Pandago going to rotate in. He's going to see Z-Freak here. So Z-Freak won't be able to set anything up on the mid. Swindle's at 5.5, so getting close at level 6. He's been able to get a lot out of this bottom lane. 21 CS, so not the highest CS count, but you compare him to the mid heroes, and he's not that far behind them. He's already got his arcane boots finished as well. His CS is nothing like TC's, but wow, look at that. TC going first to item Vanguard. I mentioned this when the patch first came out. I wouldn't be surprised if we started seeing a lot more people experimenting with early Vanguards. And we're just starting to see those items, the Vanguard starting to get picked up early. We saw, well actually not on this channel, but we did see in other games that this anti-mage build is starting to come out as Miracle was picking up Vanguard first on AM. And we've seen some other people experiment with it, and now we're going to see TC pick it up on Void. Interested to see how that plays out. As Handskin starts to rotate towards mid. We haven't really seen too much movement out of Jason. He's just been staying down in the bottom lane. But being down here, he hasn't really been able to bully Swindles much at all, and that's really because of the Kraken shell. You can't. You can just accept any of the right clicks that you're putting in trying to harass him, because it's not really going to do much to him. And then he can always just run at the Vengeful Spirit as well.
Demised.
MSS and Limp still dead even here. 39 and 10 CS on Limp, 39 and 11 CS and MSS. One of the big differences here has got to be the off lanes. We've got the Tide sitting at 7, level 7. He's got 35 last hits. Compare that to Brax, who's 4, almost level 5, with 10 last hits. Of course, you know, they've given a little bit more of that XP in the top lane to Pandago, so he's sitting at level 3. But still, Handskin's about to hit level 4, so he's ahead of him in terms of XP. Jason's already hit 4. And Z-Freak's about to hit 4 as well, as I actually completely missed a kill in the mid lane there from MSS as he dropped Limp. And Swindles can actually TP back to base. Sunstrike will land on Chessie.
Dire's top tower is
So within about a minute there, Shazam not only gets on board on the scoreboard, but they end up getting their second kill of the game as well.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Now Swindle's actually just going to go back towards the bottom lane, and why not? He's been getting everything that he wants out of it. And they go just actually stomping the neutrals there. But yeah, Swindle's been getting everything that he wants out of the bottom lane, so there's no reason to run away, really. As Swindle's actually getting bashed up there twice, and TC might drop the chrono. Indeed he will. Will they have enough damage with the Sunstrike? Indeed they will. As TC going to set up a nice kill there. He had 2 lucky bash procs to set that up. I was wondering if he was going to have enough damage, because you don't get the extra damage from your bash inside Chronosphere anymore. But of course, I kind of forgot about Sunstrike there, and with Sunstrike it's easy peasy for them to have enough damage to finish off a Tidehunter. That's going to be enough for MSS to... Well, I guess he already had his Midas completed. But he's up to another 900 gold, so he'll look to upgrade his boots. Actually, no, he'll probably save his boots and go boots of travel, so he won't go treads. Got Handskin, Z-Freak, and Limp down here. They're going to use the Dream Coil onto TC. He's going to snap the Dream Coil as he walks outside of it. They're going to kick a rock at him. They're even going to use Ravage here. It's going to stun up TC as well as Brax, who just TP'd in. But the safe lane farming Faceless Void, currently our leader at 74 and 5 CS, goes down. And maybe that's the little bit that Chessie needs to catch up there. As we've seen each safe laner die once this game. Of course, we saw Chessie get hit by that Sunstrike a little bit earlier on.
Top tower is under attack.
Integra rotating up through the lane. Jason's in behind. We're going to have a TP coming in from MSS, and Chessie could be in trouble again. Nice combo there from Pandago and MSS with the sleep into the Sunstrike. And then, yeah, ping coming out from Chessie in these trees, indicating that somehow the Venge is already in there. Limps up to 1100 gold, getting close to his blink.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Really interested in seeing what the item build is going to be here for TC with that Vanguard
Dire's
first.
Top tower is under attack.
MSS completes the drums. And Scan's going to find Swindles, or it's going to find someone at least, by the Ancients.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Top tier 1 tower goes down as Swindles continues to clear out this Ancient stack, and this is going to be a lot of gold for him. Notice he's already got a headdress as well. And with the Ring of Basti, is that going to be... I guess it could be Vlad's. It could also just be him going for mech as well. Anyway, it doesn't look like he's going to be going for Blink first. So we'll switch on over to net worth. Our leader right now is MSS at 6.6k. Then it's both safe lane farmies. Both safe lane farmers.
Radiant's bottom
Pretty much tied at 5.5, and it's going to be a buckler picked up by Swindles, so he is going to go for the mech as his first item. Then we've got Limp at 4.4k, Swindles at 4k, and then Brax at 3.1. The slight advantage for Pandago, having a little bit more gold than the other supports. Right now, it looks like Shazam is just slightly ahead in terms of net worth. But compLexity looking to change that as they're going to start putting some pressure down here in the bottom lane. They start working on that tier 1 tower. Bear swiping away at it. Going to get an entangle off onto TC. TC will just rewind that damage. So here comes the dive as Dream Coil is going to get used. The Bear getting very, very low. Ravage going to come out, and that's going to secure them the kill onto TC, who doesn't even get his Chronosphere off. As Jason dies as well, and now Pandago is going to try to make his way through these trees that have just been cut, working towards that Battle Pass objective. Pandago goes down, 3 heroes dead on the side of Shazam. It's going to be 4 as Brax is about to fall. And there he goes. So the only one who doesn't show up is MSS. And he's the only one left alive. compLexity doesn't lose a single hero. They get the 4 heroes that were in the bottom lane. They're going to get the tier 1 tower as well. And now they're going to have some big item pickups, like the Blink Dagger on Limp. Check on Chessie's gold. He's up to 2,700 gold, so his relic isn't going to be too far away either. Swindles, 430 gold, halfway to the mech recipe. Like Urn's going to be picked up by Z-Freak shortly. And how did... Wow, Swindle already had the gold for the mech? That's gold on top of that. Wow, okay. The mech recipe had already been purchased. It was just flying in on the courier, so he's got the mech completed now. And you know what? Right before that play in the bottom, I was saying that Shazam had a slight advantage in terms of net worth, but obviously that play has just turned everything completely right around. Let's take a quick look at our gold graph. And yeah, that's exactly what it shows there. But 2,500, almost 3k gold lead for Shazam is now a 2k gold lead for compLexity. And now Shazam looks a little bit confused, a little bit unsure about how they want to engage here with this smoke. And now they've got 2 people popped. And it's just Jason and MSS still smoked, but it doesn't look like they're going to get an opening on anyone. Maybe they will. They're going to use the drums to pop, to get Jason and MSS up there quicker, but Jason's going to walk right into a Nightmare, which will get passed off to a Forge Spirit. And it will just be a wasted smoke from Shazam. 2.2k gold now up on TC. We still await his next item. 3.5 for Chessie. And MSS has gotten Boots of Travel. And he's now up to 900 gold. Interesting. Seeing support. Now picking up infused raindrops. It was, for a long time, it was really just Derp, the only support that we were seeing picking up infused raindrops. Then we started seeing some mid-heroes picking it up, whether it was Wind Ranger, Invoker. Invoker's actually the big one that we've seen the most of. But we really haven't seen too many support players picking up, but now Jason picking it up and doing a little bit of counter warding here. He's not going to find anything. A little bit of overlap.
Radiant's top tower
he had to
is
cover
under
that area.
attack.
Either way, they won't find the Dire Observer ward in their jungle because it's up on the pillar. It's about to expire though, so nice deny there from
Radiant's
MSS.
top tower has
Limp
been
tried his
denied.
best to get the last hit there, but easy deny there for MSS. Courier just delivered the relic to Chessie.
To your lands.
He's about 1,000 gold away from completing his Radiance. Limp just got a kill there on Pandago in the top lane. Looks like he used Dream Coil. Apparently that's all he used.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
What did Swindles just spend his gold on? Hood of Defiance. Brack's going to use the Sunbeam in mid, just as harassing. Not really going to get much done with it
Top
though.
tower is under attack.
TC's up to 3,100 gold. What is this man going to buy? Could he possibly be saving for a Radiance? That'd be weird. Oh, definitely a little bit of a different build than I'm used to seeing, at least, from TC and Faceless Voids. 3,300. Still waiting to see what he's going to pick up. Meanwhile, Limp has just picked up a Yule Scepter, and Chessie's completed the Radiance on the bear. And even Handskin picking up an infused raindrop. Looks like they're going to go for a 4-man smoke here from compLexity. As we have a Hood of Defiance picked up by Brax for Shazam, and he might be in trouble here. Limp's going to jump on him. Nope, Icarus dive away. But still, compLexity has a bunch of heroes here, and they're just going to... They didn't get the kill that they were wanted for, and they're just going to go right in onto the tier 1 tower. Limp. It's a Yule Scepter off. Brax going to TP away, but he's going to be interrupted by the Ravage from Swindles. So they get the kill on the Phoenix. Jason having to stun out the bear there, but it looks like he's just going to get chased down. So 2 heroes dead on the side of Shazam. compLexity going to go back to pushing this tier 1 tower. So they should easily be able to get. Glyph's going to delay them a little bit. MSS meanwhile pushing up in the top lane. But with Handskin already up there, MSS going to have to back and respect it. Question is, will compLexity keep pushing here? And TC gonna jump forward, get the chrono off, and they're gonna try to focus down Chessie. Elder Titan's gonna send out the crack as Chessie getting quite low. 500 HP, 400. healed back up to 600, but they will get the kill. MSS with the killing blow. And now they're going to keep chasing after Swindlemelons, but I don't think they're going to be able to catch him. Limp and Z-Freak are off to the side, but they'll be able to escape as well as GG Boots get completed by Swindlemelons. He's got his Hooded Defiance and GG Boots 20 minutes in. That is one farm Tidehunter for this point in the game. And look at this, TC picked up a relic. This is going to be a Radiance. A Radiance faces Void. Well, I know it's certainly something I haven't seen recently. Interesting, we're going to see how it works out. Radiant's typically used as more of a farming item, not so much of a fighting item. Of course, it does give you some benefits when you actually go to fight. Of course, the damage is, you know, nothing to kind of ignore. But the big thing is that now the 17% miss chance is... The Radiance recipe is going to come in. So 17% miss chances... I mean, it's kind of significant. It helps quite a bit in the team fights, but look at compLexity's lineup and what do they really have that's got right click? I mean, the bear, I guess? Lone Druid doesn't do too much right clicking of his own. Neither does Tide, Bane, any of those heroes. So I don't know if the 17% miss chance is really going to be much work. Either way, we'll see how it works out for TC. His drums get completed by Handskin. Limtus rotates down and wipes out this creep wave. Still haven't seen the next item coming out from Chessie. He's sitting at 500 gold. After picking up his Radiance, we have a bunch of projectiles flying across the map there. That was a little weird.
Top tower is under attack.
TC needs to be careful if he's going to sit here and farm. They clearly know something's up because they've backed away and they're not going to continue farming that. So they know compLexity's here and smoked.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Now Swindle's going to wait.
Dire's top tower is under
Positioning
attack.
himself for a nice Ravage. But yeah, he'll just run right at them, make sure they back away. It looks like it's going to be an easy tier 2 tower for compLexity. The top tier 2 is already gone, so there are a couple heroes up there from Shazam, but they're not really going to be pushing anything. As TP's come down towards the bottom lane to defend, but we can already see that compLexity's backed away, or at least backed to the Radiant jungle. But a drawing on the map from Z-Freak. The Sunstrike went out, checked Ro8. We got a smoke here from Shazam. They're going to run out. Jason actually leading the way. He's going to find Swindlemelons. He's going to stun him up briefly. A TC going to jump in with the Chrono Spear. They're going to try to focus down the Tidehunter before he's able to get the Ravage off, but he will still be able to after he Guardian Greaves. And TC then leaps away. He's still down at half HP. We've got a Supernova in the middle of all this action, but we've only had one hero go down so far, and it's Jason. Brax, Icarus dives right into the middle of compLexity, where he gets immediately nightmared up, but that's been popped, and now TC is going to try to find some kills. Handskin trying to run and gets smacked by Pandago and goes down. His MSS very, very low. He will eventually tick out to the Radiance burn from Chessie's Bear. Pandago tries to hide in the trees and TP away. He will be successful. The other heroes, Brax and TC, escaped by going north. So it looks like it was just a 2 for 2. Very slight advantage for compLexity there. 75 gold when it's all said and done. Yeah, it's one of those weird situations where they jumped in, they tried to focus down the Tidehunter, and then they weren't able to. So the Tide ends up getting his Guardian Greaves off, then he gets his Ravage off, But by that point, I think Shazam had already realized that they weren't going to be able to get the kill, and they had backed, so the Ravage only hit one. And then it was just on TC who was able to time walk and rewind most of that damage. It was a weird series of events where we basically had a Ravage and a Chronosphere get used for almost nothing, but TC wishes he maybe had his Chronosphere up there. As he goes down on the back of an Entangle proc from Chessie. MSS now with his Aghanim Scepter and his Blink. Continue to farm. We almost have the Yule Scepter completed by the Elder Titan. Brax is gone and completed his pipe. Just a point booster for Limp. And Z-Freak is added on a Helm of Iron Will. Vlad's up on Chessie. His Bear still just holding the Radiance and the Midas. And Swindles has also upgraded his Hood of Defiance to a pipe as well. Looks like Roche will eventually go down here, but Shazam know they're doing it. Question is, do they feel like they can take this fight? Faceless Void just respawned now. He's going to TP to the tier 2. It looks like they're going to come and fight this out. Yeah, it looks like they're going to have enough time. Roche is only now passing over half HP. And 4-man smoke from Shazam. Brax is kind of chipping away as he's standing up front. The Bear's actually going to come out. They're going to see the HP on Roche. And a swap from Jason's going to start things off. As TC's going to jump in. Chronosphere going to land on nobody. And now Shazam's in some trouble here. Brax's going to be the first one to go down. As compLexity, nice splitting there. Ended up getting them 2 kills. No one got caught in the Chronosphere. They're going to chase after TC. Doesn't look like they're going to be able to find him for the kill. MSS escapes by going north again. But a disaster engage there from Shazam. I don't know what the game plan there was from TC, but there's no one even close to that Chronosphere. compLexity made a nice split there. Maybe it was the puck that he was trying to get. Maybe the puck blink that I didn't see. I don't know. We definitely had the Venge swap up at the top part here that led into everything, and then we had Shazam coming in from below. And then all of a sudden that Chronosphere in the middle on what ended up being nothing. Ace bottled up by Limp as Chessie's just picked up a Hyperstone, and now we've got a Veil completed by Z-Freak. We've seen a lot of pucks picking up the Veil recently, as incorporating that in their build, and it's a build that actually obviously gives you some more offensive power as well, but it also allows you to farm really, really quickly using that Veil. But he's gone with a different route this game. He's gone with the Aghanim Scepter and allowed Z-Freak to pick up the Veil as compLexity takes to the high ground here. Shazam saw them coming. Meanwhile, we got some split pushing from both TC and MSS in the top lane. As the top lane's pushing on the tier 3. compLexity look like they're easily going to get this tier 2 in the mid. There is still a glyph available for Shazam, so they can use it to delay compLexity just a little bit. That doesn't look like they're going to use it.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
TC and MSS have gotten the top tier 3 down to about half HP. But some TPs have come in from Brax, or from Z-Freak and Swindles. But MSS and TC are out of there with plenty of time to spare. Take a quick look at our gold graph to see where we stand in this game. I imagine it's going to be heavily in favor of compLexity. Yeah, over 7,500 gold lead for them. I wouldn't call Shazam out of this game yet, though. But certainly compLexity, they're looking pretty good at this point, and I think they scale a little bit better than Shazam as well. Still a little unsure about this this build from TC, where he went Vanguard into Radiance into BKB. I don't know. I'm not sure what the game plan was. Maybe, you know, the Radiance could make sense in other games, but this game I don't even feel like the 17% miss chances is that effective. But TC's going to get forced to pop his BKB after he got Yules by Limp, but then he's immediately going to get caught in a Fiend's grip, so there's the majority of his first 10-second charge of the BKB used there. But I think Shazam lucky to get out of there without losing anyone. And compLexity will look to do something here. They got just under 2 minutes left on their Aegis. And will they try to take the high ground here? They've got a little bit of stronger initiate since our last fight with a 4-staff on Swindles. But still hasn't elected to go with a Blink Dagger yet. It looks like compLexity's going to back, so we'll probably let the Aegis expire rather than trying to force anything. As Limp has picked up an ultimate orb. Another smoke from Shazam. Will they be able to find anyone? Doesn't look like it. We can cheat by looking at the mini-map and see that there's really no one on compLexity side in the vicinity. Chessie's still working on completing his AC, which he may have just had enough gold for it. Oh, it's close. He had 3-point-something K. MSS now has just picked up a BKB. So another BKB for Shazam. Got a plate mail picked up by Brax as well.
Double damage.
There it is. AC completed by Chessie. And now we have Pandago just picking up a gem. They're trying to cut down some of this vision from compLexity, but it may be a little too late. Shazam really hemmed in their base here, although they've found a little bit of space up in the top lane to push. And kind of stretch their legs a little bit. They've even gotten a lot of damage in on this tier 3 tower. But unfortunately, this is the only place where they've been able to find any room on the map. And that's mainly because compLexity have been showing, you know, in the mid or in the bottom lane, pushing those towers down as they prepare to push uphill into Shazam's base. The Swindle Melon's going to get caught here. He already force-staffed himself forward to go on the creep wave. And TC jumps in, gets a chrono off. That's a dead Tidehunter. compLexity already starting to push down the mid. They've pinged that they're indicating that they're going to come back and defend, though. Rightfully so. They do have buyback available on Swindles. It doesn't look like Shazam's even going to be able to keep pushing and force out that buyback. Stomp had caught the bear there, but they weren't able to prevent it from jumping back to Chessie. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Brax has been caught out by that Yule Scepter from Limp. Now he gets silenced up. Doesn't have Icarus Dive available, so he's in trouble here. He's going to try to Sunbeam, but immediately that gets cancelled. As Hanskin gets the kill. 15-8 now in favor of compLexity. This looks like they are just going to take this one slow. Take it nice and controlled, and probably wait for the next Roche, as my cat is being rather annoying, but yeah, I think they'll probably wait for the next Roche here. Once they get that Aegis, then they'll probably take a stab at trying to push uphill. And we've got Limp with his Sheepstick just finished, so that's going to give them quite a bit more team fight as well.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And they're going to smoke up and start pushing down this mid lane. Chessie leading the way for them. Scan just got used by Shazam in the middle of their jungle. And MSS and Jason still hanging out in the bottom lane. MSS just TP'd back. I'm assuming we're going to have Jason TP back as well, and there it is. But Limp already jump up onto the high ground there, so they're going to start engaging onto Brax, who's down to half HP, but it just cost Limp half his HP as well. As the bear working on the tier 3, let's get down to 350 HP.
My gratitude.
Complexity, like I said, just playing it safe and slowly. They're not going to stick around too late and try to force anything. They'll back. They know their dire side. They're going to have easier access to Ro8. We can see that Ro8 isn't up yet. But he will be up in a minute. Both teams can easily scout it. Of course, there's a few ways that complexity can, but the easiest way is probably to sit the bear in there. Although I don't think they're actually going to do that. Shazam, they can keep checking with Sunstrike. Of course, that comes with a cooldown. Complexity have regrouped, and they're back in the mid lane again. I think they think that they can chip away at this tier 3 tower, and I think they're right. As there it goes, tier 3 down.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Sunstrike. Nice force staff there from Swindlemounds. He knew that the Sunstrike was going to be coming in. And he just force staffed the bear to make sure it didn't get caught by that. We didn't end up with a dead bear. Ro8 just respawned. We got a Maelstrom just picked up by Chessie as well. Glimmer on Z-Freak. There's that Maelstrom up on the bear. TC. Going Diffusal Blade on the Void. A really weird build. Most Complexity trying to set something up here. Even used a scan, but they're not going to find Shazam. Oh, and look at this. Shazam. They're going to go to Ro8. They're going to smoke up. And they're going to take a different path. That's not going to run them right into Complexity. But Pandago's just kind of revealed their position there. Complexity were looking. Either way, Complexity just showing on this Observer Ward to Shazam. But here comes TC. He's going to leap in. Going to get a Chrono off on 4 here. Z-Freak, the only one outside. You're going to try to help whoever he can, but Chessie's going to be the first one to fall here. As Limp goes down at almost the same time. Swindlemounds is going to force staff himself up onto the high ground. He still has Ravage available.
Radiant's
But will he
top
use
tower
it? Doesn't
is
look like he
under
will. He's going to hold on to it. He does not have buyback. And Complexity loses 4 heroes in Z-Freak. The only one not caught in the Chronosphere is the only one left alive. Nice game plan there from Complexity to try and sit and wait for Shazam to come in, knowing that they would know that Complexity would back for Ro8. The problem is Complexity didn't wait long enough, and Shazam ended up smoking and going a different way. And then Complexity ended up getting caught 4-man Chrono there.
Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Bottom tier 1 tower goes down, and with that play, I think Shazam has really just brought themselves back in the game. Who picked up the Aegis? Didn't even see. It's MSS holding on to it. He's also picked up an Octarine since we last checked in. They managed to keep the gem alive, or actually get the gem from Complexity. That's a handskin gem. The Pandago still has his as well. Now Diffusal complete on TC's up to 3,300 gold. Oof. Limp and Handskin may have been able to get a catch there on the Pandago. Just not pouncing on that opportunity there. We're gonna have a refresher coming out soon-ish for Swindlemounds. But once again, both teams just kind of slowing the game down. That last fight was a big, big blow to Complexity's lead. They were over 10k, almost 12,000 ahead. And now they're just 3k ahead. And XP's actually gone up in favor of Shazam. Although, it's pretty much 0. quickly bring up our items here. So if you missed anything, you can quickly catch up.
Silence.
Shiva's guard completed. His Brack's going to use that right now.
Silence.
So what was really significant about that last Ro8 fight is compLexity were definitely in control of the game. Just like, you know, I said, they know that they can back up, get Ro8, get the Aegis, and then take an attempt at high ground. Shazam, obviously the ones on the back foot. By jumping in there, wiping compLexity, obviously they gave themselves a whole bunch more gold and got themselves back in the game in terms of the net worth. But by securing that Aegis, it has also bought them at least some time. They can sit on that Aegis, and that's time that compLexity isn't really going to want to take a fight to Shazam. So that means Shazam can basically freely farm for the entire duration of that Aegis, which we know is about to expire in 2 minutes from the pop-up we just saw. But now it also gives Shazam the opportunity to maybe even potentially try something here and try to go for an uphill push with it. They're going to start with the tier 2 in the mid lane before they try anything too crazy by trying to go uphill. Do keep in mind this top lane, that tier 3's on relatively low HP. And the pings are going to come out for them to go up to the top lane. I don't know if they're going to have enough time left on this Aegis though.
Well-gotten gains.
Mjolnir, completed by Chessie. And that'll go on the Bears TC, sitting on 5,400 gold. Built's completely random. We have no idea what items he's going to pick up. There's that refresher completed by Swindles, and the Aegis must be expiring in very, very shortly. Click MSS. There we go. There's the Aegis getting reclaimed. He's got his Midas. He's also got a Void Stone. What is he working towards? Swindle and the boys of compLexity are now smoked up as 5. Or 4. Chessie's not in the smoke. They're going to charge forward. Are they going to catch someone? MSS is just right here. But he's sitting in Ghost Walk and he's going to pop that smoke. Well played there by MSS. Everyone else from Shazam is nice and grouped up. Making sure that no one's going to get picked off. TC has just used Time Walk and he's going to get caught by Limp's Sheepstick. The Stomp is going to come out from Pentago. It's going to catch 3 heroes from compLexity. The other end of the Stomp ended up catching Swindle Mounds as TC's going to pop his BKB. He's going to throw down the Chronosphere. And they're just going to be able to focus down Swindle Mounds. The Chrono only caught 1, but it only needed to catch 1. His Handskin gets a Nightmare off, but looks like he's going to fall. His Tornado's going to catch actually 3 heroes from compLexity. As Handskin dies, Chessie dies, and Z-Freak TP's away. Another big team fight win by Shazam as compLexity's so close to making the right play and picking someone off, but then all of a sudden it turns around because of a big play from someone. It completely turns around. This time it was a big stomp from Pandago. catching 4 heroes. And then, obviously, Shazam recognizing the fact that Swindlemelons was isolated. And they can get a chrono off. Notice the placement of the chrono as well. Swindle was up here, and he caught him right on the edge of it and made sure the chrono expanded down here so that the heroes from compLexity weren't going to be able to come and join in and help out Swindlemelons because of the positioning of the chrono. Shazam starts pushing this mid-tier 3. They got 3 heroes that aren't there yet. Aggressive TP coming in from Swindlemelons. Keep in mind, he still has his Ravage up. And it's going to be 2 Ravages with the Refresher. But Shazam will back away, only getting the tier 3 in the mid down to half HP. A teamfight win has allowed MSS to complete his sheepstick though.
Invisibility.
Octarine for TC as he'll drop another Chronosphere as they once again try to focus down Swindlemelons. The Nightmare used by Handskin there trying to prevent some of the damage, but it doesn't happen. As Swindles dies, Handskin dies. And this game may just be falling apart for compLexity right now. Start working on the tier 3, it's down. Now they go for the range racks. I think Shazam really feels like there's a buyback available.
Radiant's top tower
But we can see that he's over almost 1,000 gold away from it.
Dire's middle barracks has fallen.
So the racks go down in the mid lane. I'm a little bit unsure about their decision to go bottom here. Had they gone top, they would have got the top tower already. Because of how much damage they already had initially, and it could be because they've got their tier 2 standing in the top lane. And they've already lost their tier 2 in the bottom. Dream Coil going to get used by Limp. Nice swap from Jason to bring Brax out of harm's way. TC's just going to pop his BKB and stand there and man fight. Meatball's going to get tossed by MSS as TC now getting kind of low here. But he's going to time out, get some of his HP back, as there's that Ravage from Swindlemelons. And they will get the kill onto TC. Supernova going to come out from Brax. But I believe they will be able to right click it down. No, Supernova is actually going to complete. One more attack was needed as Brax going to try to TP away. And oh, so close, but Limp catches him with the Yules. And MSS comes in with a deafening blast. Brax is able to stand there and throw to Sunbeam. And MSS will get away. So, Shazam win another, get a nice pick off there. Is MSS? What? He sunstriked Limp in the base. Nice pick there by MSS. But Shazam, you know, win a nice team fight. Then they get another pick off on Swindlemelons in the mid lane. That allows them to get the mid racks. Then they go for a bottom. They stay what turns out to be just a little bit too long. As compLexity comes back, re-engages, and defends their base, getting that Ravage off and picking off a few heroes. Gonna have a quick pause here from Z-Freak. Pandega also gonna say BRB. We'll take a quick break here as well myself. But so far, this has been a good one to start things off. I have to remind you guys, this is a best of 3. This is only game 1. We knew this was going to be a good series, but it's, I mean, proving to be even better than that. Bring up the items here so we can kind of look at them while we're sitting here on the pause screen. Pandago's back, still just waiting on complexity. But man, what a disaster this game has been for complexity. They definitely had control of this. Definitely had control of this game. But Shazam came back with a couple big plays and caught them off guard. And then, of course, those two pickoffs on Swindlemelons, allowing Shazam to get that Rax. Huge stuff for Shazam. But I wouldn't say they're out of the woods yet. They're still going to have to... All the team fights they've won have been on the back of them killing Swindlemelons at the start of the fight before he's able to get Ravage off. So, if they're not able to kill Swindlemelons at the start, then maybe complexity is still in a much better position. Right now he's sitting with no Ravage for 68 seconds, but he does have his refresher available. Yeah, ping coming out on Ro8, which both teams should know is up by now. It's definitely going to be interesting to see how this one finishes. Oh, both teams are ready. There we go. We resume as gem gets purchased there by Z-Freak. It's 5,000, 5.2k gold now up on Chessie. So what are we going to have from TC? He's up at another 3,100 gold as well. Question is, who's going to make the next play? Shazam with those last couple fights, and certainly with that Rax down in the mid lane, has given them a lot more map control. With their mid lane constantly pushing out, that allows them to have a much better position and much better control of their jungle, which effectively will allow them to control the Ro8 area a little bit easier. But of course, complexity going to have the advantage of just being on the dire side. Oh, and Limp. He's found Brax with the Yule Scepter. Brax then going to get sheeped up immediately after that. Hanskin going to come in with the Fiend's Grip. A nice stomp by Pandago is going to land on 2. And that's going to be enough to get Brax out of there. Donkey Curry comes in and delivers a Heaven Talbert to Brax. It's MKB now getting picked up by Chessie. So he's going to put an MKB on the bear. Partly, I guess, to deal with that 17% mischance from the Radiance. But top tier 3 towers now dead. Now Shazam's going to go into Ro8 pit here, and well, they saw a couple heroes from complexity up in the top lane. Now the pings are coming out as Limp indicating that, hey, they're in Ro8, guys. We need to do something about this. And if they plan on doing it, they might be a little too late. Ro8 is getting very, very low here. We just had a Blink Dagger picked up by Swindlemelons, and here they come. Ooh. Limp went for the play there to try and snatch the Aegis, but it didn't work out for him. He ended up throwing away his life, and he doesn't have buyback. Or sorry, he does have buyback. Excuse me. What, complexity? This could be their final hold here. As there's that buyback from Limp. We're going to have a Yule Scepter actually used on a creep. Dream Coil is going to get used on Brax and Jason as well as MSS. TC's going to throw out the Chrono on Swindlemelons as the crack's going to come out. But Shazam, this has not been a dream engage for them. Instead, they end up losing their Phoenix and their Invoker. They might lose their Elder Titan as well, as he's going to get caught with the Yules. And now he just looks to juke and jive through the trees and buy his team a little bit more time to respawn. It's going to be a triple kill for Chessie. This gem drops on the ground. I don't think anyone from complexity saw it. They're not sending the courier out yet to snatch it. Shazam was starting to send theirs out. He's going to pick up Diffusal Blade recipe and send that into TC. So Diffusal Blade level 2. Another stomp going to come out from Pandago. Will Shazam be able to hold here? They do have a buyback available on MSS. So if they feel like they need to use it on their Invoker, they can. Swindles jumps forward. Huge Ravage going to land on 4 heroes. Another Ravage comes out. And there's that buyback from MSS, but now Pandago's dead. So Shazam still looking to defend his 4 as TC respawns with that Aegis. So he'll get the kill on the Limp. Who, of course, it was he just bought back, so he'll have a really long respawn. A swap going to bring back Swindle Melons. Tornado and Meatball used onto Z-Freak there. Swindle's getting very, very low in the top left. Z-Freak getting very low in the bottom right. Looks like Z-Freak and Swindles are both going to go down here. As Swindles,
Radiant's middle barracks are
he's the one with maybe a chance of escaping here, but it's not looking too good for him, especially not anymore. He's just trying to break down some trees. And there he goes.
Around my neck.
So 3 heroes down on the side of compLexity. Only 1 buyback. Just Z-Freak with the buyback. This is twice now that Swindle Melons is bought, and to the point where he doesn't have buyback. And then he's died immediately after, and Shazam's been in a position where they're able to push, and Tide can't buy back. He's going to be down for 50 seconds. They're going to look and see if their gem is still there, and that's nice. Going to pick it up. Do they have the other one
Dire's top
on them? They've got a
barracks are under
refresher.
attack.
MSS's refresher flying in on the courier. He's already used it.
Dire's top barracks.
But they're going to get the top set of racks. Now they're going to start moving down towards the bottom.
Dire's top barracks.
And this could be mega creeps here for compLexity. They've got to defend here. 15 seconds before Limp is up. 20 before we're going to have Swindle Melons as the range Rax is about to die. Does Icarus dive in from Brax as he pops the Shivas? And there's that melee Rax about to go down as well as compLexity's not able to push up. They're getting forced back by Brax. Glyph going to delay them slightly, but there it is. Mega creeps for Shazam. And compLexity's still not tapping out of this one. They know that the next team fight could easily go their way and they could just go and end the game. There's a lot of heroes in this game without buyback. Only the Void and the Earth Spirit. TC and Z-Freak. So 1 on each side with buybacks available. Of course, the Void's buyback's a little bit more important than the Earth Spirits, but look at this. compLexity going to smoke up and charge all the way across the map looking for a pickoff. They know that if they sit and wait and try to fight against Megas, it's not a good position to be in. They're going to look for a pickoff and look to just win the game. Question is, will they find it? There's just a bear in the mid lane. TP scroll will get dropped on the ground. The bear is going to go back and get HP before porting back to them. But compLexity doesn't find anything with the smoke there. Shazam takes to their high ground, try to set up for this last ditch effort from compLexity. Bottom and top lanes both starting to push in towards compLexity's base. They're going to go. They're going to have to go soon. Swindle Melons does have double Ravage, and he's going to blink before the Chrono comes down. 1 Ravage, 2 Ravage. TC will drop his second Chronosphere. And compLexity gets the first kill with the kill on the Pandago. MSS very, very low. He'll go down. No buyback available for him. 3 heroes dead on the side of Shazam. Have compLexity done this? As it's just TC and Brax left to defend here, compLexity is actually going to send back Swindle Melons to defend the core, or the throne, excuse me.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
As TC getting low. Brax also very low. Jason's come back. He's going to get a swap off.
Radiant's middle barracks
And TC's going to go down. compLexity may have done this. Buyback from TC.
is under
As Z-Freak diving, running into the fountain so that he can buy back and come back and defend here. But the creeps may have done it. compLexity desperately trying to defend here. Meanwhile, in Shazam's base, oh, the Dire Ancients about to go. There it goes. GG, well played. Will come out as a thrilling game 1 to start the series. And Shazam will take it. So a lot of people were expecting compLexity to take this series, but a lot of people were also saying that Shazam were likely to take a game off of compLexity, but here we are. Shazam currently 1 game up in the series. So if they were just going to take 1 game, they've already taken it. But we have to keep in mind, Shazam finished first in their group. compLexity only finished second. They got beat by Evernova. You know, what a series we have set for us here today. Man, I'm excited to see game 2. We'll have that in just a few minutes. I'm not sure how long of a break the players are going to want, but we should have that coming up shortly. Once again, guys, I was Niz. Thanks so much for joining me with the cast so far. But we'll have game 2 between Shazam and compLexity coming up in just a few minutes, so don't go anywhere.